Yo, what's good? It's Lucky Lefty here with Overtime again, and I'm here to give you my complete breakdown of this week's college football game. You got the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs going down to Death Valley, a crazy place to play the number 13 LSU Tigers. And this game spells every sense of rivalry.
300 Spartans gave their last breath.
Let me get to the breakdown of what I think each team has to do to be successful on Saturday. So what's it going to take for this LSU team to come out with the victory against a tough Georgia opponent? Last week they came off a tough loss to my school, the Gators. But the two things I think they really need to focus on, especially heading into this week, is they wanted to put a premium on tackling.
Oh my God.
When I say tackling, they need to limit the yards after catch and after first contact on runs. Look, UGA has amazing players with Holyfield, Ridley, Harmon, Swift, that these guys are taking the ball 5 yards and turn them into 50-yard gains and sometimes touchdowns because teams aren't tackling. Look at last week when they played Vanderbilt. Most of their big plays came from missed tackles. So LSU has to bring these guys down to create longer scoring drives and longer down and distances for them to be able to get on the field and score. The second thing they need to focus on, they need to find a way to protect Joe Burrow up front so they can take shots down the field so it can open up the run game with Nick Brissett. Burrow has played his best football when he's able to take shots down the field. If you look to a couple weeks ago against Ole Miss, he was 72% and 3 touchdowns. So if they want any success, they have to extend the field on offense as well as on defense. Bring down the ball carriers to create longer scoring drives for the UGA offense. Now on the flip side, let's go to the X factor for Georgia. What is Georgia going to do to come out with this victory in a tough environment in Death Valley? Well, in my opinion, I really think it comes down to how are you going to rattle Joe Burrow and disrupt that offense and also make yourself known as one of the top defenses in the SEC. I'm relying heavily on those linebackers in that 3-4 with Walter Grant and Tyreek McGee that's playing the star to create pressure and to contain that run and keep it inside. Get him involved, get some 8-man boxes, get some pressure that's going to be able to rattle Joe Burrow and eliminate the run game, because once you rattle Joe Burrow, as we've seen through history, he's going to turn the football over. And that's going to leave it to J.R. Reed to scoop it up and that tough secondary that UGA has and increase that total of 4 interceptions on the season to you want to have at least 5 or 6. So it's very important for this UGA defense to set the tone and establish himself by eliminating the run game and making tackles. Those leading tacklers on the team with LeConte and J.R. Reed and Tyler McGee and Monty Rice are what's going to take for them to establish themselves as not only as the top defense in SEC, but a top defense in the country. So once you rattle Joe Burrow with edge pressures and middle run-throughs and finding ways to fire off singles on the edge, because that's where you know the weakest part of LSU offensive line is, that's how you know you're going to get to the sweet spot. So it's very important to shut down the run early and then bring pressure to rattle Joe Burrow so he tosses it to the other team. And that's going to be the X factor and the determining factor of what it's going to take for UGA to come out of Death Valley alive. Now it's time to get down to business. Who do I think is going to win this game in Death Valley? Well, I'd have to go with Georgia. I mean, it's the clear-cut decision for me, not only because they're the number 2 team in the country, but because they're very stout on both sides of the football. There is no weakness in this team that I've seen on film, and there's no weakness I feel like that's going to affect them other than the environment down at LSU. But you got to think about it. Georgia has a very, very good solid core and a very good head coach in Kirby Smart. So I know he's going to get these guys ready to play in a very, very tough environment. But what I like about Georgia the best, I just think they're overall very talented and hard to beat. And there's a good chance for the UGA defense to establish himself as not only dominant in the SEC, but dominant on the road. And I think this is going to be a perfect example of that on Saturday night. So I got the score 35-28, UGA taking down the LSU Tigers in Death Valley, and it's going to go down. I can't wait to see it. But you know, now we got to get to the game. I made my X factors, I made my predictions, and now it's time for the Saturday night SEC Showdown. So, like I said, Lucky Lefty here with you at Overtime, and a peace out.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm telling you, Overtime Seasons is that account. If you want to see more videos like this, they're right here. Also click subscribe, please. I got someone on my tail. Someone's chasing me. I'm almost there at the touchdown though. Gotta be out. Subscribe.